Father Nguyen, are you a person who actively participates in a loving, prayerful Christian community? And if so, how?
Am I actively praying in loving Christian community, and how? Well, I live in a Jesuit community, so therefore that is a community right there. And we do pray. We have Mass every day. Besides the school Mass, we do have Mass in the evening together as a community. And we also pray during Mass as well as before dinner. And again, we all have our own individual prayer time as well. So it's actively, yeah, I think so. And then we do have some time, occasionally we have faith sharing as a community. And also here I'm involved with some of CLC group. And I think CLC group is a faith community. If the kind of thing that we share in that particular group that has a faith component to it, then yes.
Okay. Do you feel that others can tell you are a follower of Christ because you offer companionship and friendship to all?
I cannot judge from point of view of other people, because other people, we have to judge it. Obviously, I'm trying to live out the way that Christ is telling us to live, to be compassionate, to be giving, and to be generous. But trying is one thing. You know what I mean? Because the way that I might say, oh, I'm generous, but other people look in and say, oh, he called himself a Jesuit. He's not that generous. He's not compassionate. I cannot make that statement for other people, because they are the one who have to judge. The only way that I only trying to say is that in my perception of myself, am I trying to live up? I would say yes, in my perception, I try to live up. Do I always succeed? I don't think so.
Okay.
We are human beings after all, right? So.
Yeah. Can you give us an example of a time where you felt that your life was off track and you turned it around to become better, more caring, and a more responsible human being?
Oh, there's so many instances. It's not like there's just only one instance. But if you're talking about a life-changing moment where the direction that I have decided to take would change my point of view, my outlook in life, as well as my faith, then yes. One example was when I was in college, freshman year in college. My values at that time is like, I want to be the top dog. I want to be get good grades so that I can be in medical school, and I don't care about other students. So I try to study really hard and try to do well, but because of circumstance in life, I was involved in a car accident after maybe 2 weeks in school session, 2 weeks, and that accident is really caused me to become very depressed. And at one point, out that whole year of being fall into depression, and you know how when you are depressed, you don't really care about everything anymore. And so my grade fell down drastically. And I didn't fail, but for me at that time, I'm always been a top student. So to have a C is, for me, that's traumatic. And especially when you are going to be a doctor, a pre-med student, a C is not an option. And I have at least 2 C's. And I felt so bad that I would resort to cheating in my tests, and I got caught. And when I got caught, the thing is that at university, they can dismiss you. Even if you cheat and they caught you, just like that. But luckily the professor just let me fail. which means I have to repeat the class. But that depression, the cause of the accident, the depression, and trying to resort to a quick way, it made me feel ashamed of myself, that I thought of, my life is over. Forget about medical school, with your GPA that low, you're not going to be able to pull up, and they're going to ask all this, and let's say even if I'm able to pull it up. I was thinking of even commit suicide at that time. But for some reason, I have a very good group of friends. They noticed a certain behavior change in me. These are high school friends that I have known, and they start asking me to go on retreat. And so I did. And that's when I felt that all of these things that I have, my values have been screwed up. And for God doesn't really want me to be the top dog. God wants me to be happy, but what is happiness? What does that mean? And I think that from there that I become more prayerful about it, more reflective, and that's when my life started changing for the better. Yeah, that's one example.